Taking to some more NBA rumors here. Klay Thompson, he is expected to re-sign with the Golden State Warriors. We won't spend much time on this, Jimmy, because it kind of borders on that dust side of things. Like, this was supposed to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, there was very quick little speculation that, we haven't heard Klay Thompson's getting the max from the Warriors yet. Maybe they're not going to offer it to him. No, chill out. Free agency hasn't even started. They give it to him. They're going to give it to him. At 6:01 Eastern time, he will sign or agree. He can't sign yet.
Yeah.
He will agree to that deal with the Warriors, and he'll be back. Now, out most of next year, if not all of next year, potentially back for the playoffs, assuming they make it, which I believe they will.
Yeah. So this is the Warriors lineup. We'll list Klay on there because there's really no point not to,
Right.
They just belong on there. Draymond, Iguodala. We'll figure out center later, and the entire bench kind of has to be figured out beyond some of the guys they've had in recent years, Jacob Evans, Jordan Poole, and those types of guys.
Yeah, Jordan Poole. I kind of forgot they drafted him for a second, but I'm leaning Kevin Durant's going back to Golden State, but I'm sure
we're going to get to KD later.
I know, I was just teasing it.
All right. How about Paul Millsap? He is also going to stay in Denver. The Nuggets have picked up his $30 million team option, but Denver would have only freed up $18 million in cap have they declined that offer. I don't know if they were going to get that. I don't know if they're going to get a player of his caliber at that price tag. This means Denver is going to be quiet in free agency, if not outright silent.
Yeah, but really this whole summer for Denver is all about getting Michael Porter Jr. healthy and hopefully getting Bol healthy as well. And now they got Paul Millsap back. What he does for you is he is a veteran presence that can help lead this young team when they get into the playoffs. I mean, they were a second seed. They were the second seed in the West last year. So I like it. I think it was smart to keep him anyway.
This continues to be the best team for myself in NBA 2K because they still have the shooting there. Paul Millsap probably overpaid in a bubble at $30 million, but $18 million feels far better for him, and that was the cost equation there for Denver. It was not, we have $30 million now to spend. It's, no, you have 18 to spend. I don't think they were going to end up finding anybody better out there. Also, you can't say you-know-what in the comment section because he's not on the bench there. He's not on there. So you are not allowed to say it, folks.
Yeah, don't even talk about him. If you think he's going to have a role next year, too bad, so sad. You can't say it.
All right, folks, again, make sure you are subscribed here. All right, go hit that big red button. You're watching on YouTube. We're almost to 700 live right now on the show. If you're watching this after we're live, you could have watched it actually live if you were subscribed. So hit that big button here. We'll keep you covered throughout NBA free agency, including when things kick off at 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's on Sunday. Maybe one of the bigger surprises far. We won't spend too much time here, but it is a surprise regardless. Nikola Mirotic going to pass on what was allegedly a 3-year, $45 million deal from a team like Denver to replace Derek Favors.
Utah,
excuse me. And is going to head over to Barcelona and play in the EuroLeague, and he's heading back overseas.
You can't really knock the guy for going back to his hometown. I think it's just, I want him to go home.
It's a surprise still.
It is a surprise.
Yeah.
But he's going to be a star. I mean,
he's going to be like the best player on the team there.
Yeah, 16 points per game, I believe, is what it was in Milwaukee. Imagine what he does on FC Barcelona as the best player and maybe even potentially the best player in Spain next season. Good for him. Still kind of surprised by it. 3 years, $45 million is a lot to pass up on in the best league in the world.
SupremeMan77 wants to know if this is live. Of course it's live. There's your proof. Also, we continue to deal with the spammers in the comment section, and we're sorry. It's not our fault. So, to help us out, type bot when you see them. That will help us get rid of them. It'll help make them go away. So, type bot in the comment section when you see those gross spammers putting in the inappropriate links that we're actually not allowed to say on air because we don't want to get in trouble with the bosses there. So, just type bot when you see them, folks. All right, what will be the biggest free agency surprise here? Coming off I think, a pretty big one of Mirotic going back overseas.
Yeah.
What's going to be the biggest stunner? Could it be Timothy Mozgov getting big money again? That was the biggest surprise I think I've ever seen.
And it was on opening night, too.
That was so
insane. The night free agency opened, it immediately happened.
Mozgov money.
I can't predict the biggest surprise, otherwise it wouldn't be a surprise, right?
That's fair. That's a good point. That's a cop-out answer, but that's a very good point. Let's move then to Kemba Walker. This is the biggest noteworthy news. Again, the asterisks up there because there is no tampering. No deals can be agreed to, although Kemba Walker has told the Hornets he's going to sign a max deal with the Boston Celtics, so that's pretty much a done deal.
4 years, $141 million. How he knew that he was getting that offer, I don't know.
Crazy, right?
Can't even imagine, can't even fathom how he would figure that out. But, yeah, going to Boston, he'll probably be up in New England when free agency opens and we're live here, he'll be up there signing a deal, agreeing to a deal with the Boston Celtics.
Very quickly, Boston's gone from really not on the radar from Kemba, or for Kemba, more of just like a speculative, well, maybe they could make some sense there. And then they are the silent stalker for him. And then like 2 days later, boom, he's going to go to Boston. Now he joins a lineup featuring Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, and we'll slot Robert Williams in there, but maybe they go after a Cantor or a DeAndre Jordan for that mid-level.
I like DeAndre Jordan in there. I think Enes Kanter's okay, but then your defense becomes really, really weak because Tatum's not a great defender. Hayward's not a great defender. Kemba definitely isn't a great defender.
Grant Williams could be.
Oh, yeah, Grant Williams. Oh, yeah, I forgot that. I was like, wait, do you mean Robert Williams? But they have both the Williams now. So they got Grant Williams. Now, who else did Boston draft? I'm trying to remember
Langford.
now. Romeo Langford was the other guy they picked up.
And Carson Edwards, who's not going to be a defensive guy.
God, this sucks for Carson Edwards because I wanted to see him play more next season, but now Kemba Walker's in there.
Get there.
Not going to happen.
All right, folks. So Kemba coming off that 25 and I'll call it 6 assist game there. I think it's a good pickup in the end. For Boston.
I mean, if you're losing Kyrie Irving, who is a arguably top 3-point guard, and you pick up Kemba Walker, who's arguably a top 5-point guard, and you probably upgrade in personality. Great recovery by the Boston Celtics.
All right, so Kemba is one of the expected deals that are not official yet. They're not even legally allowed to be official yet because that's tampering, which doesn't exist in the NBA. And, of course, there could always be the DeAndre Jordan, Mark Cuban driving around begging through text type deal there. But Klay's going to re-sign. Kyrie has been for a long time likely to go to the Brooklyn Nets there. And then Chris Middleton and also Nikola Vucevic also supposed to re-sign on a 4-year, about $90 million deal, which is, if so, I think it's actually a great deal for the Magic.
I think it is too, and I'm a little hesitant to say that this is expected yet. I still think he will meet with teams. Somebody, hint, hint, wink, wink, the Kings, could offer him a max contract. I like it. And honestly, Kyrie to Brooklyn, it feels like a done deal, but also it's Kyrie Irving, and
you never know.
Who freaking knows what's going on in that guy's head? I can't even figure it out.
That's why it's expected.
Exactly.
Not done deal. All right, different question for you guys. How do you cook your steak? Let us know in the comment section. Do you do medium, medium rare, rare, well done? And if you're well done, why are you a serial killer? Let me know in the comment section. How do you cook yours, Jimmy?
Medium rare.
Good man. Good answer.
Time. My dad.
Good answer.
We go to steakhouses, we'll go to a steakhouse or whatever with my family. I cannot find a steak better than the one my dad grills out on our grill at home.
I'll give some shout-outs here. Also, if you type in well done, I will not give you a shout-out because you're just wrong. Trying Perfection says rare. Sarah says medium.
Beef jerky.
Faye Hayes says medium rare. Skillboard says raw. I'll tell you what, if it's bleeding, that means it's a good steak. Tim's Hot Take says medium. Christopher says medium. Ronald Waller says medium rare. Malcolm says medium rare. Look, if you cook your steaks medium rare, you are or well done. Excuse me. If you cook your steaks medium rare, you're great. If you cook them well done, you're entitled to your opinion, however wrong you may actually be. Now, even if you cook your steaks well done, we can still hook you guys up with a fantastic deal from MyBookie. Head over to chatsports.com/NBA now. Use the promo code ChatNBA you see on your screen. That gets you a 100% bonus. And after you sign up and deposit and place your first bet, text us at 972-885-0646. That is 972-885-0646. We will hook you guys up with a free NBA jersey, whatever jersey you want there. Just got to use chatsports.com/NBA now, promo code ChatNBA, place your first bet, then text 972-885-0646. It's a great deal, Jimmy.
That's honestly an incredible deal. Free jersey, sign me up. I'm interested to see, I'm going to ask this question to our audience. Everybody watching, we got about 700, a little over 700 people watching right now. If you could have one NBA jersey for free, which jersey would it be? And if you actually want it, then go text 972-885-0646.
Again, folks, that's chatsports.com/NBA now. Promo code ChatNBA. Text 972-885-0646 to get yourselves hooked up with that fantastic deal. You got to use promo code ChatNBA. You got to place your first bet. So remember to text 972-885-0646. Moving along now to Kevin Durant. He is going to take some visits here. 4 teams we know of: the Nets, the Clippers, the Knicks, and the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, and it's becoming increasingly more likely, in my opinion, and based on what I've seen on Twitter, based on what I've seen from every report and what I'm hearing is that if Warriors offer him a 5-year deal, I think he ends up going back.
I used to think that Durant was going to go to the Knicks, and I think that was going to be the key thing there. I have changed my mind kind of like you have. You stole my thunder, by the way, because I called this in our Slack channel yesterday, and you didn't give me any credit for it. I think that the Warriors have a really good chance to land KD. He might just stick around and spend there one more year. And if he does, well, then they'll have to figure out something to do with Draymond Green, because they can't have a max contract KD, a max contract Klay, a max contract Curry, and a max contract Draymond. That's just not going to work there.
Yeah, and in all reality, I guess no one really knows what he's going to do. I think he looks to join up with somebody. But even if not, I mean, joining up with somebody is basically like going to Golden State, because you're already joined up with 3 All-Stars. Maybe Draymond Green, not so much anymore, but at least 2 All-Stars in Klay Thompson and Steph Curry.
Okay, so here are the reported visits for Durant: the Knicks, the Warriors, Clippers, Nets. Maybe somebody else sneaks in there, but those seem to be the 4 most likely outcomes there for Durant. What's your prediction, by the way?
Golden State, 5 years.
Totally took all of my thunder away.
He's lying. He's taking my thunder.
No.
I was the first one to call it here
got
at
the
Chat
receipts.
Sports. I said it a long time ago. He can't pull up those receipts on screen, so it doesn't even matter. That was my call.
All right, folks, we're going to get to some of the updated visits here in a second, but make sure you're subscribed here. We'll be live for NBA free agency once it officially kicks off tomorrow. There are some visits going on right now and all that kind of stuff, but you'll get the agreed-to deals tomorrow. Just make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Oh, by the way, we'll be live multiple times throughout NBA free agency.
Yeah.
Answering your questions, breaking down all the news it happens to.
And if you're getting your news from anywhere else, you're getting it from the wrong place.
Yeah, so make sure you're subscribed here, youtube.com/chatsportstv. All right, here's one of those meetings. Kyrie Irving will meet with the Brooklyn Nets in New York on Sunday, and they're going to reach a 4-year, $141 million deal. So that's the max contract. And the big question, of course, for the Nets is then, well, you've had Kyrie locked up for how long now? Will you be able to get anybody else in to join Brooklyn?
You know, I guess we just talked about Kyrie Irving and how we don't really know what he's going to do because he is such a spontaneous guy and he's got so many different thoughts. But it's becoming pretty clear that 4 years, $141 million for Kyrie is going to be the deal when he meets with Brooklyn Sunday, which we'll be live for. So once that actually happens, we'll have it here live on Chat Sports. But, even if they don't get anybody with him, Kyrie...
I think if you're Brooklyn, even if you miss out on the Durant and the Leonards, I think you go after a Tobias Harris. If you miss on him, a Julius Randle, which, it's not Kyrie and KD, but it's really, really good pairing there.
I like it, and I'm still not counting out D'Angelo Russell coming back because they said it from the beginning.
Well, the plan is that once Kyrie commits, they're going to renounce D'Angelo Russell.
Okay, that makes sense. And
so
I do count
then
that
he's
out.
gone. Yeah.
Tobias Harris makes a lot of sense in Brooklyn, but even maybe a couple mid-tier guys instead of one more max player.
And that will allow D'Angelo to go anywhere he wants. He will not be bound by anything there. Though I guess there could be a sign-and-trade potentiality there, but that kind of goes by the wayside. Not exactly great news for the Timberwolves, who would have to do other trades, not including a sign-and-trade. Not that the Nets were ever going to do a Wiggins for Russell, because that just didn't make any sense. But again, that's your first note there on Kyrie Irving. He's going to meet with the Brooklyn Nets on Sunday. We'll get to some more of these here as we go along. Again, Kyrie, this isn't a huge surprise. This has long been expected, right?
I'd say so, but I'm still kind of surprised that it was like, all right, meeting set up, they're expected to reach the deal. I at least expected another meeting to come about before.
All right, more meetings here. This is Jimmy Butler. He is going to meet with the Miami Heat on Sunday. We've heard that one before about how the Heat wanted to work out a sign-and-trade with Jimmy Butler. He's going to meet with the Houston Rockets as well. The Sixers, of course, want to bring him back. Butler could take other meetings as well. I think it makes sense, though, for Butler. His priorities, hey, let's go with the teams that have to trade for me first and foremost.
Yeah, Miami, Houston, neither of them have the cap space to do it. I actually like this Miami idea. I like it for Butler more than I actually like it for Miami because he can go be the guy and we can see if he can really carry a team to the playoffs. Because that team, now it's a little weird because it's a lot of wings. You got Justice Winslow, Josh Richardson, and then Jimmy Butler. That feels like 3 very similar players already.
Would you include Richardson in a sign-and-trade potentially?
That's true. I guess you got to dump somebody. Richardson could be a guy that they try to trade, but interesting and probably good that he gets these out of the way first before going to the teams that can just outright sign him.
Teams like the Lakers, both of the New York teams, which would also be a threat. We did mention them with Kyrie Irving. Butler, I still think makes sense for the Nets too.
And let's not count out just going back to Philadelphia. I mean, they can offer him more money, more years than anybody else. I still would lean that he goes back to Philadelphia next season.
You see it there at the bottom of your screen. Our next meeting update, Derrick Rose will meet with the Detroit Pistons. That's on Sunday, and they're already the front runners to sign him too, I'll make note.
Yeah, it's sounding like they're looking toward...
It's a 2-year deal, so I would assume a 2-year deal for the mid-level exception, which would be my guess.
Yeah. Hey, good for Derrick Rose. If you can get 2 years and hopefully 2 healthy years for Derrick Rose, that's pretty solid. And a mid-level exception, I think that's very reasonable. Paying him anything more than that is just a risk. That's not worth taking. And Derrick Rose can go and start, and he plays with Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond. Sekou Doumbouya will be one of their top players, of course, next year because he's great.
Okay, calm down there, Jimmy. But again, those are your meeting notes there. Kyrie to Brooklyn on Sunday. That should get done pretty quick. Jimmy Butler going to multiple teams. Nothing finalized there. The Heat and Rockets, though, in the mix. And Derrick Rose seems likely to sign with the Pistons once things get started officially tomorrow. More free agents here. How about Al Horford and his interest? The Mavs and Pelicans have been linked to Horford. New Orleans is interested, but only at the right price. They don't have all of the money available as other teams tend to do. I continue to think, Jimmy, that the Kings are the secret team with the multi-year deal set up for Al Horford.
Yeah, I would actually agree with you on that one. I love the Pelicans fit. I really do.
I do too.
2 veterans in Drew Holiday and Al Horford, and then plus young core of Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Zion Williamson. What more can you ask for? It's a team that can push for the playoffs and also compete in a few years down the road.
It seems like the Mavs, at one point, everyone swore the Mavs were the secret team for Al Horford. Kind of don't think that's going to be the case here.
I don't think so either. I mean, $112 million over 4 years, if that's what his actual going price is, then I don't think it makes a lot of sense for Dallas because he's just not on that timeline. He is going to be, if he signed a 4-year deal, he'd be 37 by the end of that year. I do think fit-wise, it makes a lot of sense. Money-wise, not so much.
All right, so those are the 4 teams. They're linked to Al Horford, the Mavs, the Pelicans, Kings, and the Sixers. And, of course, I'm sure we'll get some other secret teams as we go along here. Horford is not going to be one of the, I don't think, one of those instant signing guys. I think he might take his time a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he can wait for these other bigger dominoes to fall, and then he can just fall right in their laps, fall in whoever's laps it is. But apparently he's already had this deal waiting for him since he opted out.
I feel like that was like the worst case. I'm going to take this deal here.
That's fair. That's a good point.
All right, again, so here are the stats for Horford last year, 13.6, 6.7. He goes to the Pelicans. I do love his fit alongside Zion because Horford does provide more spacing than I think right now even Zion does. I think that's key.
Yeah, I think so too. He's a good defensive guy. I mean, just totally different styles. You have one super freak athlete, big man, that can kind of shoot versus one just solid, down low, big man that can really shoot. So I like the fit in New Orleans. If that is the team, we'll see.
All right, folks, make your predictions in the comments section. What team will sign Al Horford? Who do you have, Jimmy?
I'm gonna say the Kings right now.
Okay.
Not the I don't think it'll actually end up being the Pelicans because of the money. I think the Kings will end up getting out.
I want to say Kings, but I also wonder if the Jimmy Butler thing actually does go down. I think the Kings are the best fit out there for Clint Capella.
That's true.
So I'm kind of wondering, well, maybe the Kings want to keep space available because they're probably going to re-sign Harrison Barnes. They can only afford one of Capella and Horford there. So not sure what the route will be there. But again, folks, let us know in the comments section, what team do you think will sign Al Horford? Moving out to another free agent here, that is Patrick Beverley and the interest in the Dallas Mavericks there. The note here is that Beverley wants 3 years, $40 million. I think pretty fair for him. But Tim McMahon of ESPN thinks Dallas can get Beverley for less than that.
Yeah, Tim McMahon was quoted in saying he believes the Mavericks will be able to get him for somewhere in the mid to upper 30. So I would say that starts around $37 million for Patrick Beverley, and that still allows Dallas to go out and sign a couple other mid-tier guys. Another report came out from Zach Lowe that Mavs have moved on from the big fish, and they're looking toward getting a few mid-tier pieces, and that all starts...
Crazy. All of this has happened before free agency even begins.
I know.
Isn't that insane?
It's because tampering is absolutely not a thing, you know?
Yeah. All right, so the potential Mavs lineup here with Patrick Beverley, I like it. I think Beverley, he's not a scorer, but he brings you enough ball handling. I think most importantly, really great defense that I think they need, because I love Luka. He's not a premier defender, though.
No, not by any means, and neither is Tim Hardaway Jr., but I also, if I were a betting man, would say this is not the starting 5.
I agree. Somebody else would
I believe there will be another piece to come along with Patrick Beverley, a guy like a I don't know, maybe a Danny Green, maybe they go out and get a Bogdanovich. A Malcolm Brogdon would kind of be a dream scenario for the Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Mavericks fans. So Patrick Beverley, I believe, is pretty close to a done deal for Luka Doncic, Kristaps, and the Mavs.
Maybe a bit unfortunate in the end that Dallas doesn't get one of the big fish, but overall they're building, I think, in the correct direction with their overall core.
Agreed.